Welcome to Leicester on the Derby Nottingham Leicester route by Skyhook Games. This came out a few days ago, and we're going to run from here up to Nottingham. Nottingham. And so we're going to be calling it East Mids Parkway and Nottingham today. Pretty quick run. And class 43. This is obviously, so the main noticeable difference immediately, without looking at the roof, is the headlights. As you can see, the East Mids trains or the VP185 units had these different headlight clusters. These are obviously different to the East Coast and the MTU units in general. Going to really quickly, I've obviously enabled my safety systems already. I'm just going to keep an eye on that. And close the doors. That's a LUD issue. Fascinating. Right. Reverser. Forward. Check. Brakes. Release. There we go, start powering up. Okay, so... yeah, so it's a 40 start limit today. And our first stop, like I say, is East Mids Parkway. Okay, we're generating amps, but we're not moving. More amps. There we go. So, you can see that the roof as well is a bit different. Cooling fans are animated. I can't remember if they were animated in the last one, probably were. So on the right hand side, that is Leicester TMD, Traction Maintenance Depot for short. We've got all our safety systems cut in, so we should have a good, enjoyable drive. The GSMR doesn't seem to be simulated on this, but it is on the 158, which is nice. Green light. Let's go. Pardon me, my burps. So yes, this is a first look / review / everything else really. 65. That wouldn't be an over-under, that would just be a 65 straight as far as I'm aware, but happy to be wrong. So this route, I'm going to tell you now. If you want to simulate this part of the railway network... sorry, I'm trying to figure out a camera angle here. The way to do that is by buying the Just Trains version of this. This, for example, as a representative of Leicester TMD, isn't great. Okay, the scenery is fine, but Leicester TMD is great for one reason: the variety. And TSW can't simulate that if it tried, particularly well at least. But it feels a very weak representation. I'll be honest. 110 limit. I'm trying to go into full power. Hopefully we won't slip it. If we do, oh well. It'll be a good laugh. So yes, like I say, this route, don't get me wrong, it might be better. Ooh, that's interesting. That's an FKA. That's interesting. But there are a lot of glaring issues with it. And it feels like what's happened here is Skyhook have done the same as what Rivet tried to do with Edinburgh Glasgow. Sorry, my brain's not doing particularly well lately. I struggle to find the right words sometimes. I do apologise for that. But yeah, so like I say, sorry. They've tried to do cool, sexy ideas, but then lost track of the important stuff. Is the way I'd phrase it. For example, freight. On this route, you've got the junction at Sykeson, which takes freight towards Peterborough and the East Coast. You've got Mount Sorrel, which has got some wagons in it, which is nice, but it's a massive aggregate terminal. You've got Loughborough. That is, right for light engine moves. Just take the 37 and then back out. Delivering and taking locos for refit. Ratcliffe Power Station. That is a location. And you've got Toton Depot here. Toton, once again, a Toton Depot, which is this area here, is a massive... this is Toton Depot, sorry. This is massive freight... it's EWS/DB Cargo's sort of main depot for 66 repairs. GBRF use it as well. Toton Sidings, this is quite big. Over here... over there you have you have car sidings. Over here is the Bombardier Works in Derby. Chaddesden Sidings, that's another aggregate place. And in this area here, actually you've got, here, you've got the scrap sidings here, and you've got more aggregate sidings there. So it just feels very weak. Also, I'd be surprised if we see any actually moving AI. The timetable does feel a lot like a work of fiction, if I'm honest. I'm gonna, when we hit about 110, I'm gonna go back to notch 3, and we'll go from there. Quick capture, windscreen wipers, they only go on or off, and when they go on they're slow, so if it's raining heavily, just stop, you can't see anything. Headlight controls, AWS isolates on the spare button, which I think is interesting. De-icer buttons, desk light, I don't think that works, because we'd see like the lights actually turn on. Parking brake controls, ETS, we can turn that on actually, that should be on. Oh, 1, 2, 3. Engine start-stop controls, engine stop light is on here somewhere, safety systems isolation, all that kind of good stuff. Brake pipe, no, brake cylinder, yeah, brake cylinder, brake pipe, I'm not sure, I think anti-clogging reservoir, basically. Speedometer, ammeter, contact the signal button, safety system isolation. You'll notice this is the logic strong around. DSD is unisolated even though it's in the thingy position. So, horn. Actually, this is something I will give them praise for. Audio. It's AP mixed audio. It sounds the part, alright? It sounds blooming good. I like it. We'll have a look at the, so that I'm absolutely fine with, I have no objections to that whatsoever. In fact, I'm not. What, 1, 2, 3. We'll just stay notch 3 and let it run here. Anyway, yeah, like I say, also interesting in the news today, Focus Entertainment is acquiring DTG. It's going to be interesting. So Focus Home, what do they actually own? So it's Focus Entertainment, not Focus Home, Focus Entertainment. Now, looking at their games in this simulation/management thing, you've got Hotel Renovator Sim, which is fairly boring, to me at least. Shipbreaker Hard Space. I don't want a friend space. That's supposed to be quite good actually. But SnowRunner is part of their little thing. This is Mount Sorrel Aggregate Terminal. And that is, you can see, it's not a good representation of the AI there. Honestly, if it was my take, fill all the or fill blocking AI so you can't see anything into the sidings. That would be a good representation in my book. I'm going to coast down. It should be 110. The next speeds change. There we go. 110. I'm just going notch 2 for now, let it stay a bit slower and then go back into notch 3. Yeah, so, but, they're on SnowRunner, so and Mudrunner, obviously, so they've got sort of experience of actually decent simulations, which I find interesting. I actually want to do some more SnowRunner. I enjoy playing it, just it doesn't get views on the channel. Yeah, but I think overall, it's going to be interesting. I think the priority change is going to meet one or two things. Obviously DTG was bought out. How much did they buy them for, actually? That'd be interesting to know. It doesn't say at all. Oh, the acquisition price considered with current market multiples. It contains an upfront payment mainly in cash as well as price complement adjustments based upon company performance. Key senior managers along with John Rissick will continue. John Rissick, honestly, I know John. Well, I knew John when I worked at Dovetail. He was someone I really rated, actually. So yeah, no, it's good. They've got good people. Have fabulous, fabulous people, fabulous work and all that. I think that was their term. That's the line of the GCR. Again, you could have rail tours coming off that. Units like locos going for tours. This is Loughborough. Over here you've got brush traction, so you can see it's a custom building. That's got a big brush sign on it, which is missing. Oh, 158! 158 sighted! Wow! So this is the AI. There'll be a passenger run and a run where we drive this. We'll be driving this on a different route actually, but we'll talk about it more on there. Okay, I'm going to go up to notch 3 now because we've dropped down to about 100. So I'm being a bit more aware now. I'm keeping my eyes peeled basically for Ratcliffe Power Station coming up. And when we select Ratcliffe, we've got to stand on the brakes because this thing don't stop too well. And that'll be the stopping for East Mids Parkway. East Mids Parkway, right next to East Mids Airport. I do wonder what is the... I suppose in theory East Mids Parkway is East Mids Parkway, not East Mids Airport, so... Yeah. Who knows? Well, someone does. No, I'm just trying to think what... Basically, my thought was, what is the largest, basically, non-rail-served airport in the UK? I'm just thinking of stations that are served by airports. Heathrow, Gatwick, Stansted, or the Mainland, and Luton isn't, I suppose. But Luton doesn't actually do that much work, in real terms. You know what, let's do it this way. Busiest airports in the UK by passenger numbers. So Heathrow, that's rail served. Gatwick, that's rail served. Manchester, that's rail served. Stansted, that's rail served. So London Luton is not rail served. Interesting. Edinburgh, it's got the tram, so that counts in my opinion. Birmingham is rail served. Bristol isn't. Glasgow was meant to be. Belfast isn't. Well, I'm going to go Great Britain because, let's be honest, railways in Northern Ireland are a little bit hit and miss. Newcastle is because it's got the metro. Liverpool isn't. So yeah, actually, to be honest, in the top 10 of sort of British airports, I'm not using even Northern Ireland here. I'm not encompassing them, but Heathrow, Gatwick, Manchester, Stansted. So the top 4 are. Number 5 isn't. Number 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 all are. So it's only really one of the top 10 that doesn't have a rail link. But then again, it's Luton. Why would you want to go to Luton? I think Luton as well has done well because Luton has seen some of the biggest growth. So as everywhere seen fairly massive growth except Southend, which just flopped because lol Southend. But again, that's rail served. There we go. Right, stand on the brakes and you'll fly right by. There you have it. So we're going to scrub that speed. I want to get down about 45 to 50 before we start platforms. I want to enter the platforms at no faster than about 30. Like I say, these things do not stop very well. It's a sharp air brake application, but it just means we keep time and... yeah. Got HST coming the other way, so okay. Maybe I exaggerated it slightly with the no AI, but there's not much AI, comparatively speaking. If this was, if you compare this to my scenario I built for this route, for the route learning video from Nottingham to Leicester, then it's completely different in terms of the levels of busyness. And I do think it makes a difference. It doth make a difference. Okay, we'll get to the end of the platform, or within platform, sorry. There we go, so we'll just take it to idle now and coast in. Much 3. Yeah, okay, I stopped it. So this thing does break a bit Well, okay, it doesn't break well, but the thing happens. Yeah, we're like a minute early, so it's fine. Just coaster in. You can see the entire train's on there, so in theory we could stop and be safe, but it's still massively stopping short of the stop markers. So yeah, overall, so the level of modelling quality I think is good, right? The custom buildings I think are actually doing really well. That is something I will give points for. That said, I think it does fall down on overall detail. What do I mean by that? I'm stopping short, but I don't care. The full train's on. Yeah. Why does it fall short on overall detail? Look at this. It doesn't feel very real. Budelias, which is what these are. Budelias, I don't know the actual pronunciation of it, but those are a lot, those are more clumpier than that. And as well, it just doesn't feel right, this placement. It's coming out of a very flat feeling gravel. Now, this area here, okay, it still doesn't feel dense enough, but fair enough. But like, it just, the near, the sort of, the immediate cess doesn't feel right. The fencing, at least at stations, feels okay, but the rest of the route just doesn't. And yeah, we've got to lock the doors. Let's go places. Let's go places. So, go notch 3 for the move away. Now, our start speed limit is going to be 77 miles per hour. That is to stand us in a good place for the arrival, for Trent Junction. One thing I will say, we do a little window hang as we pull away here. If I... and then we go 1, 2, 3. Actually, yeah, that sounds good. Full power. So it does sound good. It sounds about right. Also, ability to tell, like, are these stickers. They do feel a lot. It doesn't feel like it adds a lot. Yeah, good, you got a knuckle coupler there. That's great. You got your air pipes. You got your I want to call it a jumper cable, but I don't think that's the right term. Yeah. No, like, overall, these things aren't terrible. Don't get me wrong. They could be a lot worse. I think so. I think from an art, from an art perspective, from a local art perspective, I think this looks absolutely fine. I'm not sure about the 158. So on the 158, the destination board feels very wrong. The internal PIS is a bit dodgy. It's more loco setup, really. But in terms of loco setup, this thing, again, spot on. There's a bug where you can get trapped by passengers if you get in the passenger coach whilst thinging, and you can't sit in the coaches. That's two things that I think need fixing, if I'm honest. Aside from that, what else have we got? Yeah, I mean, so aside from that, the HSTs, like I say, to me personally, so sound is good. Audio is AP sound mixed by DTG. It proves that the sounds can be done and can be done to a really good standard. Yeah. Now, so that's that. Route art. Like I say, I think the weak point is the detail around the track. It just feels very plain. Even things like point motors are there, so that's not a massive gripe. But it doesn't feel as polished as it perhaps could be. I'm going to fly up here. whilst I just want to have a little look and just see what Toten looks like. So I'm presuming Toten has been modelled. No, it hasn't. So, well, the track has, but I can't get up there. And I can't zoom in enough to see anything. Oh well. I will get one of the mods that allows you to break through barriers and find my way over there. So, I'm going to go... We're in an 80 limit now, so we'll accelerate up to that. It's going to be probably notch 2 that I leave it at and just coast. Yeah, cool. Yeah, there's the reminder for 80. Double ambers, just changed to green. That is quite an early magnet. 1, 2. This would be Beeston, I think, or Attleborough. Can never remember which one's which. Attleborough. Like, it does look the part, don't get me wrong. Looking around, standard posters, standard benches. It's a train station in the UK at the end of the day. Tickets. Okay, yeah, there is actually a ticket machine here. Fair enough. Fly up and over. And then you come back in this way. Cool. No, fair enough. Overall, like I say, it's like the extended detail is really good. I think it's, if anything, it's a bit high. So you can see you've got like good detail right the way out there. Whoops. That ran in the nick of time. But yeah, like overall, probably a hair, like yeah, the long distance detail is probably a hair high, but I mean a hair. There we go. We'll leave notch 1 in, just let the speed control itself a bit better. In fact, I'm just going to go. There we go. Okay. Slowing down to 40 now. No, I'm imagining things. My apologies. I thought we were a bit further ahead than we were. I am going to coast us from here, though. So yeah, this, again, there's no aggregate siding on the left. And I think it's Sims Metal. I'm not sure. It's, I want to say Sims Group. On the right-hand side as well is a scrap siding. A lot of Mark III's met the makers there. So, you know, it would be nice to just have some wagons sitting in there. Some J&As would go down a treat in that siding on the left. But it's just, you know, maybe even some RHTT wagons, you know. Well, actually, no, that would be unrealistic. Also, the RHTT, so the timetabling on this, I'd like to know what their reference was, because I know at the very least the RHTTs are a work of fiction. In this area, the RHTT is like leaves Toten Depot at like 3 AM, and has been some crazy formations. Usually top and tailed 67s actually, but in the past it's been there's footage of a Mark III DVT on the front of a railhead treatment train going out of there. That is some bonkers stuff. Sorry, I'm just slowing down. I think, yeah, I'm still getting ahead of myself here, but fluff it. We were early, actually. That was a green. So we had an amber even though on a green aspect. So that's one of the issues here, is that they are making mistakes in areas I think it's not particularly acceptable to make mistakes in. Yeah. You know, stuff like that. Frankly, I know DTG has a really good signalling team actually. I'm not going to name names because I don't have permission to name names. But yeah, like, yeah, DTG, for their faults, there are a lot of members of that team who are incredibly nerdy about and passionate about their subjects, and take the phrase SME to a whole new level. And something like that would not happen. Green. I don't know whether I said that energetically. Yeah, okay. I'm going up to 40 because we need to, frankly. We're gonna be very late. I'll come back off the back of this. But you can see there's our 40 limit. And basically we want to pass under the next gantry at 25. I just got that's interesting. I think I just got TPWS there. I think that was. I mean, that wasn't an adverse signal. So yeah, I think we've just either got TPWS, which we don't have a no, the TPWS panel is not illuminated. So I think that's an error. And we'll just go. Okay, so there's a time penalty here. Wonderful. Hello, guard. Yeah, we've just been hit by an AWS timeout, apparently. No idea myself. Yeah, sorry about that, mate. I mean, yeah, we're still in the 40 limit, so actually I wasn't going that fast. Anyway, that's a thermostat here, I think. That's cool. So you've got a thermostat in the cab, you've got fire knob. Knob. I set the AWS, will that fix it? No. There we go, the brake is releasing though, so what we'll do is run forward, take power out, let's go places. So there is a single amber aspect. We definitely were not AWS. I had my headphones on, I was paying attention. We were not AWS'd. So we're going to go up to 25 and then just stay there. That's 25. I'm just going to stay at 20 because you need to be at 15 under that bridge there. So we'll just coast. So yes, this is obviously on arrival in Nottingham station. A couple of pointers with Nottingham. So you've got Eastcroft Depot over there, which we can go and have a look at. Looks like a broken apart 158 in there. We'll go have a look at that. But overall, so I'm just going to, yeah. So it looks like it would be a good little thing, this. So overall, what are my thoughts on this route? Locos, yeah, they're good. The route is mediocre. Mediocre to poor. The gameplay is dire. It's dire, is the way I would describe it. It is dire. And I think that's really unfortunate. It could have been a really good little route, this. But it is dire. And the gameplay that is. And overall, I think that really lets it down. It feels unfinished. It feels like someone got halfway through building the timetable, then got told, sorry, we're out of time. Does it work? Brilliant, we'll publish it. That's what it feels like has happened. And it just, it had so much potential to be good. It really did. And yeah, I think that lets it down for me. Overall, if this was like a trial, so I'd say I would, you pay £2, or you get the game for free, and you play it for 2 hours, and then you can buy it, or it gets removed from your PC. It just gets removed from a PC at this point. I want to bring the train to a stand and beam the 3-car marker here. Also, floating 3-car marker. That is not a difficult quality mistake to spot. It's got a collision on it as well. Ow. Oh, there's a floating stop car marker there. What we'll do is we'll sit down in the cab. I'm going to shut the cab down. And we'll go and swing that to tail lamps. Okay, and also this seems to be a gameplay bug. I can't complete this scenario. Unload passengers and it will never end now. I arrived 8 seconds late. Come on, guys. Come on! Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Overall, you want my opinion? Oh, it completed. Fascinating. Overall, if you want my opinion on this route, don't bother. Yeah, looking at the interior here, you can't click it, but it just opens up for on the motion sensor. Standard intercity, basically, what Eastman's did is they had the standard intercity seats and then reupholstered them. Got your baggage, your luggage racks there. Oh god. I saw nothing. Anyway, I'll show you the RFB in the first class, and then we'll call it there. But thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye for now. Anyway, that's the first class seats. Again, it's just reupholstered intercity seats. And then this is the first class coach proper here. And again, you can't sit in these, as you can see. You can just sort of stand in them. And then, what is that? Oh look, there's a 158 coming in. Anyway, thank you all for watching. See you next time. Bye.